I wouldn't survive a horror movie. I love horror movies. There's no way I'll survive in one. I'm too intrigued, you know.
Yes. I imagine I imagine I'm the same way. That I would just be like, "You look cool. You're gonna kill me? Interesting. With what? Machete. Yeah, I'd go with machete too."
Yeah. One of
Yeah.
the most interesting interactions. I went to a haunted house.
Mm.
Not like a ghost one, but it was like the Halloween. It was around Halloween time.
Yes. Yes.
And I remember there's these guys, one had like a chainsaw. He's like, get in the hole. I was like, yes, sir. Sure, sure, no problem. Let's see where this goes.
And what did he say?
And he just stopped, like he like unrevved his chainsaw. He's like, you're so polite. I'm like, sorry.
And then you apologize for being
Yes,
impolite.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Give me one moment. I have bad knees, so I'm holding everyone up. I apologize.
Sorry, you guys. He's trying to kidnap me. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get in this hole as fast as I
As
can.
fast as
Sorry.
I can. Dag. What's your name, sir? Is Mr. Chainsaw Murderer the third? Esquire.
Esquire.
I was about to
Esquire.
say Esquire.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. I'll try to calm down.
What are we supposed to do?
So, I haven't had a chance to introduce you yet. We kind of just jumped right into our conversation, but hi. Dodge the Grave, and we're not live, in case you're wondering that. I'm just recording. Are you okay?
Hello. Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Hi, I'm Dodge the Grave, and today I'm sitting with horror writer DarkHeroXx. Yeah, we kind of just jumped right into the conversation, but I wanted to make sure that they knew who I was talking to. I have done a lot of Dark Hero XX's stories. Or I can call you Anthony. Is that okay?
Everything's fine. Whatever. Whoever out there is comfortable.
Or Anthony Lee. I want to say Lay because it's the right thing, but you're fine with Lee.
I am. I am so chill. It's so bothersome how chill I could be. But yeah, no, Lee is fine because it's just easier that way. You know, I don't want to be like, oh, excuse me, it's Anthony Lay. No, please, just Lee is fine.
You may have heard Anthony's voice in a couple of narrations, but he hasn't officially started narrating yet. He's so good. He's so talented. He's such a talented boy. And he pumps out stories like you wouldn't believe. They're so good, too. You've most likely seen or heard a lot of his stories narrated on the standard YouTube channels out there because stuff.
Oof, that's so weird to think about. And I'm trying to like hold back, like, no, no, it's not.
You trying to be why?
Get out of here. You're hyping me up way
Not
too
enough.
much. No, absolutely. No,
He's
no.
so modest. You can't
That's
even
too much.
compliment Anthony because he's just like, no, won't have it.
It makes me sick to my stomach how you're nice to me.
I can't. I can't be
Yes.
mad to him. He's too nice. He's just a giant freaking Care Bear. Um, this was supposed to be like, sort of just like feeling each other out,
Mhm.
trying to see how you feel about, like, whether you would be okay with interviewing me, and if whether you'd be too nervous to do it, or whether your setup was okay.
Um, oh, I don't know if my setup's okay. Hopefully I sound okay now. Believe it or not, I am a complete nervous wreck. So
I don't believe that.
I'm so nervous right now.
Okay, tell me why.
You don't know. It's, like I said earlier, it's like, oh man, I'm talking to the cool kids at the popular table.
You're crazy. You're the cool one. You're the one who writes
Whatever.
like a
Nah.
freaking machine.
You write too. Shut up.
Sort of, but not
You
as much as
write,
you.
you write, you narrate. I
You
haven't,
narrate too.
eh, eh, barely, barely.
In my mind, you narrate. You're a narrator because you were meant to do this.
Just put like quotations on the narrator.
Nope. I don't want
Um,
to. This must happen. That is my goal in life right now.
yeah, I have all this stuff set up to like plans. I'm so lazy though. I've been like so behind on my writing also. It's been so fucking ridiculous.
Tell me about that because you accept commissions,
Mhm.
but you don't. Do you have any commissions to do?
Not recently.
Mm.
I've had as far as commissions go, I've only had a few, and then some of that has been freelance writing on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like going through what's that shit called?
Reddit?
It's like Fiverr.
Yes.
I can't. It's similar to Fiverr,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a little profile on there. I was doing like um what was one of the projects I did? I was ghostwriting for a little bit for a children's book, and then I was doing a God, Lee. I was doing a story for a dating sim.
Yes.
That was fun. But then some of my stories get picked up by like certain podcasts. Let's see. What was one? Creepy. Creepy did one. They did a couple of my stories and they paid for that because it's a pretty big podcast. What else? But that's as far as my commissions esque go.
Mm-hmm.
So
So then, is this just the goal or the schedule that you made up in your mind that you feel like you're behind?
yeah, no, not really. It feels like if I don't get anything out, I'll like fade away to obscurity.
Where did that come from?
And oh God, like hardcore imposter syndrome.
Mm.
It's just nothing. It is literally just me. And I have like it's a funny thing with mental illness is that you're fully aware that it's so um irrational, but you can't help but to feel irrational thoughts.
Mm.
And no, it's nothing. Nothing at all. But I've been working on this one story for golly, a couple of weeks now. But I've just been so. This is just pure laziness on my end, though. But I should be out soon. What other projects have I been working on? Setting up stuff for Twitch. Yeah, that's been another thing of mine.
Trying to start gaming?
No, I just want to start streaming a little bit of gaming. Oh no, I need to like reach out towards an audience, I suppose.
Streaming what?
Um, Gaming for one, and then I wanted to do like live writing, I suppose. But, I just want to, write some stuff online, maybe have chat like my viewers put in some ideas and stuff like that. That'd be pretty
Yeah,
interesting to do.
that sounds like fun. Sort of like a writing prompt type brainstorming type thing.
Yeah, that's the idea I had. So, what have you been working on?
Existing. Mm-hmm. Trying to inhale and exhale has been
Very, very hard
so
things to do.
difficult to
Yes.
do. I gave myself until Monday to relax and stop working. And then on
No.
Friday, I was like, I can't take this anymore. I think it was part of what you were talking about before with the imposter syndrome and feeling like if I don't put something out, I'm going to disappear and no one will come back to my channel again. Um, And then you just keep seeing all the prompts come up of all the people posting videos daily, and you just,
Right, right. Especially within art, the communities that we're in, people are
yes.
just posting all the time. And which it's, flip side, it's like, I don't think Dodge is gonna fade away at all. No, that's impossible. Uh yeah, no, I'm glad you're taking care of yourself because jeez, you work yourself to the bone. You and Dustin were doing
Yeah,
that too,
Dustin
and
is
that's just wild to me.
extreme. He's extreme. The difference is that he
Golly.
actually puts out a lot of stuff, but I I only dream of it and hope. But he actually pumps out insane content,
Oh
or used to,
man.
yeah.
Now he's just working on he's been messaging me every day about his game that he's working on, which I'm like super excited for him. Um we talked about me writing storylines for him for games in the near future.
That's exciting.
Oh yeah, it's fun. He's a really really nice guy. I'm glad to have met him or been acquainted with him. Yeah, we actually started up like our Reddits around the same time, which is funny.
Really?
Like I started posting when he started doing his podcast stuff at it was like the exact same time.
Oh, perfect. Kismet.
Yeah, very odd. Mm-mm, mm. And what was it? What are you doing?
Me?
All right, what? No, one of my youngest kid just came in here and just slowly opened the door and just stared at me and just slowly closed the door back. I was like, okay,
You have passed the inspection.
yes, yeah, they'll be back with their mom tomorrow. So fun stuff.
I didn't know you had kids.
Um, oh yeah, yes. So I have two kids. My oldest is 6, and my youngest is
Oh,
2. Yeah, I have kids. Wild, I
you
know.
sound like a kid. So, yeah, that surprises me.
You
You
sound like a
sound
kid?
really, not like
Oh
a
no,
kid, but you sound really young.
I'm 31.
You sound younger.
I think I'm turning, yeah, no, I'm turning 31. Oh, it's because I'm Asian though. That could be it.
Ah.
Yeah, Asians don't raisin.
Oh, man. I'm not allowed to
Yeah.
say that. I'm black, so I guess that's why I also sound younger than my age.
What's your origin story? Like what brought you into this space? What brought you into, um, I assume you got into writing first, or did you get into voice acting
That's
first?
a good question. I would probably say five. Voice acting in the way traditional sense, as in reading bedtime stories to brothers and sisters. In that way, enjoying
Mm,
that, but not recording anything. If we're
mm.
talking
Oh,
about writing, it was just like, the standard teenage emo poetry type stuff.
oh yeah, I totally get that. Oh, I started writing when I was like a little kid because I just love stories. Similar to you, just stories have just been great. I loved horror stories. I loved Goosebumps growing up. Um, I had my grandmother tell me all sorts of scary stories from like her country. And what's another question I would ask is, what is your like process? Like what's your whenever you're like getting into character, like what do you think about what do you think about when you're going through that process?
I hmm I don't know if it God, and I don't want to sound cocky. I don't want to say it's a a gift at all. I really don't want to say that. I'm trying to think of where's my thesaurus? It
Does it just comes
no.
naturally to you?
I was
Is
going
that
to
what you're gonna say?
say that I read the story, and the way the story is written,
Mm.
I hear it in the character's voice when I read it. And so when I narrate it, I kind of I read through the story. I try to interpret what they were feeling or thinking at the time, and I kind of just sit with it for a little bit, and then I start to record. I don't know how
Hmm.
I don't know how when an author comes to me and says, "Yes, you got her voice." Like, "Yes, you know where I was going with that." And I don't know how I do that.
See, that's funny that you bring that up. Well, let's go back to like talk like dinner for two,
Mm,
or um that was
mm.
that was
Yes.
such a beautifully acted, you know. God, it was great. It was one of absolutely. I listened to it over and over again, and it is so uncanny, like how natural, um, like you and Dustin did narrating the story, and like just how natural it was. Like, um, yeah, just like you guys getting into the characters and just like the way that, um, like the cadences, and it's like this, like how you got into like the sinister, like not not as how can I say this? Um, well, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just flabbergasted just how beautiful it was. From a writer's point of view, like you guys just did so amazing on that story. Like I said, and I think the best way for it to be to describe it is like it was just so natural. You know, it wasn't overacted. It was very clean, and yeah, it's very odd. Not odd. It's just amazing how you had that. Um, it was just exactly how I imagined it.
Oh, that means so
like
much to me.
like I love
Yeah.
how like um for any narrator, they would bring their own, voice to the table. I've had one story, multiple narrators have read, and it's different every single time. And I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much. It never gets boring for me. I love listening to it. And like even though I wrote it, it's like just like a little bit higher pitched, a little bit lower pitched. It's like it makes a difference. It's like wow. Like it makes the story just a little bit different.
Talk to me about that as a writer who listens to narrators read their work, and bringing their own sort of interpretation to it. Do you hear that? Do you hear that when when it doesn't meet your interpretation, when it doesn't match up to what you were thinking? Is that like a huh moment, or is that like a ugh moment for you?
No, it's never a moment. Like it's like it's always just something so different and refreshing. Like if like okay, one of the stories that you did for me, narrated for me, it was Help Me. You add like a
Mm-hmm.
country accent to her roommate. And
Right.
that was just so interesting to me. Like I said, it just changes it because like a lot of the times, or in my thought process, it kind of adds to the lore or backstory of that. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe she came from a different state, how they meet, blah 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 blah. It gives my brain like more gears to turn, and I always love it. But it's always fun to hear like how everyone just kind of does it a little differently. It makes it all so worth it to hear everyone's interpretation of my stories.
Even if it was a text to speech, would you still be into that?
Mm, okay. I, maybe I'll sound like a hypocrite,
Mm.
but I've had a couple of my stories in my first started. posting online. They were text to speech. I was so excited. I was so excited to have someone, even want to consider my
Right.
stories,
Yeah.
to be posted.
Mm.
And um, I don't particularly mind, but I do wish there was a little more um, of an effort, I suppose. It's like I wouldn't say a slap in the face for me, but it's just like I just wish that you would have a little bit more effort. Some people like that. Some people like the text to speech. I'm not going to
Right.
judge for that, but it's um it's just lazy. It's like you're really copying and pasting this and then posting it
Mm.
online, and it just makes me a little bummed out. But it's fine. Whatever floats your boat. If your channel's fine for it, sure. I'm not going to judge too harshly, I suppose.
I I um I didn't know that a text to speech channel would be successful. It clearly is. They clearly have an
Mhm.
audience. So, yeah, there really is nothing for me to say. You have the ones that are monotone, you have the ones that are super excited, you have the ones with no sound effects, so much sound. There's a listener for every type of narrator out there. So, it's kind of hard for me to be like, I don't like to try to be a certain way when there are so many different types of listeners. It's really just a matter of finding out what your voice is and what you're comfortable with doing.
Right. And like I said, I don't want to gatekeep. It's like, oh, don't
Mm,
listen to the
yeah.
text to speech shit. It's if it brings your attention like that, great. But well, there are people that are out there, such as yourself and many other people, that put the time to add their voices, to add some sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
There's people out
Yeah.
there. So
Uh,
couple
yeah.
of searches away.
Yes, they are there. But we were talking about what it's like for a writer, a horror writer, to have their story narrated. And I agree. One of my favorite narrations was Dinner for Two that I did with on Through the Fog's YouTube channel. You should be able to see it on my page also, on my YouTube channel also, with like miscellaneous collabs. But it was it was an intense story. I I yelled a lot. I don't typically yell and or get angry. It's usually scared or stupid.
Stupid.
Yes, like those people who are like, let's not meet. I was walking down a dark alley at midnight. I didn't have my friends with me. It's like you just and those kinds of stories have their own type of challenge
Mhm.
because you have to deliver it as someone who thinks that whatever they were doing was okay.
Right, right. You have to, yes. No, I understand. I've written a few stories like
Mm-hmm.
that where you have to write from that point of view. And like in my mind, or in literally the logical mind, it's like, no one's gonna
No
do
one would
that.
do that.
No one would do that. It's so dumb. But then like I have to justify it in some way. It's like, listen, I've listened to Let's Not Be
Mm-hmm.
stuff. There are people out there that do some wild
Mm-hmm.
things in the spur of the moment.
It's hard to judge what you would
But
do in their situation.
exactly. Like frozen in fear. Like, oh, I'll run completely. It's like, would you? Like, I mean, I haven't been in a situation where I've been frozen in
Mm-hmm.
fear, but people have. It's a thing. It's a possibility. So,
Yep. So I that story is one of my favorite stories, and it was however I delivered the lines. I it was just based on what I read. It was just based on what I read and how through the fog's lines. were and how I thought it would be interpreted. And even when even when Through the Fog was editing it, I left my outtakes in. And my outtakes were like, oh my gosh, did he really just say that to me? So angry. It hurt. It made me as a human being mad. So it was easy for me.
He- So a
Uh huh.
backstory for that thing. He was like, "Can you please? He's like, "Can you please write a story where me and Dodge argue?" And I was like, "Hey, enough said.
Yeah.
Easy. Let's do this." Because because like I love that emotion. A lot of my writing is based off of emotion. I try my best to have whoever's reading my stories. I want them to be in tune with whatever
Mm,
the characters are feeling. Like that's something that means so much to me. I want them to feel whatever they're feeling
yes.
on top of feeling scared. It
Yes.
makes the characters much more relatable. And to have like in that
Mm,
story, there was a lot of emotion. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anger, everyone's feeling this and that. And that I think that's what made it more like it's better to enjoy it whenever you're able to put yourself in like shoes
yeah.
to feel what the characters are feeling. But yeah, that was like he was like, "Can you please just let us argue?" I was like, "Yes, I would love to hear this so much."
That's so bizarre. Why would he ask for this?
Because like I said, like it just sounds interesting, and of course, you're the perfect
Mm,
voice for it. You have the perfect voice for it, and it's such a good story. Even for
I had a stressed out week too. It was perfect.
uh, I
Even what?
I wish I could listen to the outtakes because that sounds hilarious.
Uh, I think he asked if he could use the outtakes, and I was like, I'd have to hear it first because I don't remember what I said, but I was just like, oh, you didn't just say that to me. Oh, that's not how that fucking works, dear. Like, I was just like,
Oh,
you piece of shit.
I remember that line. That was oof. Writing that line made me cringe a bit. I was like, oh golly.
He was like, if you had just taken care of yourself better, you wouldn't have miscarried the child. And
Yes,
I was just like, what?
a chill just ran down my spine. Remembering writing that, it was like, yeah, it's so frustrating to hear someone say that. It's like, come on, man, come on.
We lost a child. It's like, and your mom, his mom. If I could add, if I can, I'll try to add like a part of the story into this interview so that people can get an idea of what the story was.
It's so frustrating to hear it, It's like and instantly it pulls you in. I mean I like to believe it pulls you into that. It's
It
like,
did to
man,
me.
you ass. Like
If you just listen to my mom, everything would be great. Like, you'll be the perfect woman for me. Just listen to my mom. Oh,
no one wants to hear that.
oh
And
my God.
it's
Oh, I'm trying to calm down.
no, I'm literally like, geez, I wrote that. That's rough.
You wrote an
That's
amazing.
rough.
That was so
That's rough.
good because sometimes you have to dig and find that anger and, try to
Mm.
make it believable. But I just read it and I was like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. No, yeah. And then that's exactly what I was trying to go for.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I say, it's easier for everyone if you're able to like just get into the emotion of the character to
Yeah.
relate to that.
Yeah.
Like like I said, that's what I try to do with all my writing. To make you feel angry, to make you feel sad. It makes the fear that follows it a little bit better, or the horrors that follow it a little bit tastier. Is
Yeah.
that a good way to say it? Yeah,
Yeah.
tastier.
Yeah. When did you start with writing?
Ooh. So I started writing when I was in elementary school,
Mm.
actually. I maybe it exists somewhere, but I have a little tiny novella that I made. It was called Camp Death in elementary
Oh
school.
yeah.
Yeah, I started writing with that and poetry here and there. Yeah, it's ever since I was a kid. I've always loved stories. I loved writing. It's always been but it's more of a recent thing that I started posting online.
Mm.
I say recent, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, so
Wow, it wasn't that
I
long
started posting
ago.
online, and it's been kicking off ever since.
Yeah, you don't. You
If
write like you've been writing for so long.
I I appreciate that,
I can hear you blushing
and you know,
through the microphone.
I cannot take compliments. It is the oddest thing in the world for me. This is like I have the worst case of imposter syndrome. I'm like, why are you talking to me, you popular kid?
Which,
But
anyway, yes, go ahead. I'm the worst person for you to be
I
talking to then,
mean,
because I just give compliments so much.
oh my God, yeah, it's like, oh man, why? But anyways, but yeah, no, writing has always been a part of just been a big part of
Mm.
my life, and mental health is also a big part of my life, and so writing is a good outlet. Whoever's listening, if you can't find something, I mean, people have a lot of things: drawing, painting, mine's writing, and it helps me sort out a lot of my emotions through writing. And it makes it a little bit better for me, like going back to like how I talked
Mm.
about emotions earlier. To have my emotions reach out to someone else is like a beautiful thing for me. But yeah, sound kind of sappy, huh?
It's no, it's honest. It's honest.
And here's another thing you'll learn about me. I am probably one of the most honest people you'll ever meet. I I don't know. I don't like you can literally ask me
Hmm.
anything. I'll just answer it.
Yeah, to a fault. Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. Like I said, mental health is a big part of my life too. So there's no point in keeping secrets.
There was a story that you wrote. I see her. Yeah.
That's oof. Yes. That was a I honestly I just got back from it. The whole story is set. The setting was a trip to New Orleans, and like I said, I started writing that after I went through a trip to New Orleans, and depression is a very uh depression's bad. I mean, it's a part of people's lives. I wanted to create a manifestation of that, you know, because that's what a lot of people see. I mean, trigger warning. It talks about like suicide, blah 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 blah, and those were some emotions that that I was feeling at the time. Yeah, that's just some of the emotions I was feeling at the time, and it helps me sort it out whenever I'm going on when I'm writing through it. And like I said, I want my writing and my emotions to reach out to people that feel the same way, because like it is something. You can be going on a trip, having fun, but there's something in the back of your head that's like nagging. It's like, oh, it shouldn't be this way, it shouldn't be right. And that's how I wrote the character in that story. Is like he's trying to enjoy this trip, but like he just it's just something that's pulling him towards the ledge, so figuratively and literally. And it's yeah. That was a very that's raw story for me. A lot of my stories could be about that.
I felt yeah.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Anyways,
I
about that
felt
story.
that when I read it. When you told me I was reading when When I told you I was reading that one, you were like, "Oh yeah, that one. That one is like, that one's close to me." Um, and you didn't have to tell me that. I
Hmm.
could tell just from reading it that, oh, okay, yeah, this is more than just a story. This is closer than just a regular story. For those who haven't heard it, I will be narrating it, and it's going to be in one of my Bittersweet Dreams episodes. But when a writer tells me that this story is personal, I immediately feel pressure, obviously, responsibility to handle the characters with care. And I really hope that when you hear the narration, you feel that as well.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we writers in general put so much of themselves into our work, I believe, and that's already very raw. Um, but no, I think it's just a beautiful accompaniment, similar to like a piano and a violin together. Like I wouldn't think too much of it. No, not at all. Like I think what you're doing, no matter how you do it, would be perfectly beautiful.
I don't want to disappoint. Um,
No, shut up. You won't disappoint. No, it'll be fine.
I, I, being me, will not exhale until I know for sure that it's okay with you. So
Uh,
that's just how I am, even when it's a story that's not personal, but especially when a story is personal, or if it's a true off my chest post, I
mhm, mhm.
always am feeling edge every time. Just like, just tell me you heard it. Tell me it's okay. I don't have to delete it. Just tell me it's okay. Yeah.
It's okay. That's fine. Because then at the same time, like from a writer's point of view, it's like, is it good? Did I put too much into
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but no, I can assure you, I already know you're handling it with the utmost care. Yeah, I have zero like worries. I'm so excited. Like I said, I'm excited for anyone that does my stories. It's amazing. Like you guys like my spoopy
Got
little stories?
spoopy. Yeah.
Wow.
My spoopy stories. Yeah.
I post that us post that online all the time. Like, you guys like my spoopy little
Yeah.
stories? Okay, cool.
Yeah. And yet you still are so
You
humbled.
guys are you guys all right?
Yeah, we're not okay.
You guys
No.
okay? You sure? You sure you like my
Yeah,
stories?
it's not a fluke and we're not pranking you. Yeah, we like your
God,
stories.
oh weird.
How,
This story is called A Dinner for Two. You like
yeah.
this?
And it's so much fun to listen to. And it's just, oh my God. Um, God, I love stories like that. There was another one that I read that was like that. Oh, flubber. Um,
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Interesting.
there was another one that I did like that, but it was with Baron Landred, and it was sort of like it wasn't an argument. It was a man coming home, just like yours was, and but he was someone who was a cheater, and
Mhm.
and the
Ah,
wife
yeah.
didn't know. The wife. Dang, I don't want to give anything away. I don't want to give any. It's. I'll just leave a link to the story right there, the top right corner. So if you want to see it, you can click on it. But yeah, it reminded me of that. Without the arguing, it was back and forth, and there was that thing that you love hearing, that tension between a couple that you love to hear in it.
Mhm.
It's magic.
You think that's like is that weird human nature? Is like you just love to hear like you don't want to be a part of their drama,
Yes.
but you love
Yeah.
to hear the drama. Sure. Why not? It's not your life. You're a spectator at this point. It's just wow. It's like, oh man, she cheated. Like,
Mm,
what's she gonna do? You
yeah.
know, how's this gonna happen? You know, why did he cheat?
Yeah.
Who did he cheat with?
Does
You know,
she
it's
know?
just
Does he
like,
know? Does he know? Does she know?
does she know? Yeah, how long?
Right.
How long has this been going on?
Oh, I love it. I love stories like that. But I also love the stories where there's that fear in it that you do so well. And there's something about that fear because it comes from a deeper place, not just banging a weird sound in the middle of the night. It's an emotional thing. It's something more like with Help Me, they're you they didn't know what was going on. They didn't realize why they were being tormented so much by whatever was in that house. And when you finally find out and you realize what is actually going on, you're like, oh, I got it. Yeah, I can see why they would be desperate to finding out why, because holy crap, this house is something's wrong here.
Right, yeah, and like I said, like it's hard for like the little bumps in the night. It's hard, like your mind will
Mm-hmm.
automatically think of the worst thing, you know? And um it's always it's like it's just easier for you to put yourself in their situation, you know? Like you don't know what's going on either as the reader. And so you're slowly getting the clues, of course. Oh, that's how reading stories works. You're slowly getting the story, you're slowly getting the clues, and then you figure out at the end. But you know, it's just it just feels nice. What kind of stories do you typically enjoy the most?
I like stories with interesting characters or interesting whatever dilemmas or whatever situations. Maybe one that I haven't explored before. Characters like there was a demon in Small Prey that I was really looking forward to a story about a demon that I was really looking forward to narrating because, she talked. No, that's not the accent. You, you're my prey, and I can do whatever I want to. And it was just so playful and I don't want to say saucy. But I but I kind of approached it that way because she lured she lured this person in, and they were her captive, and she kind of had there was just something about the writing in her that I really was excited about voicing. So situations where it's a character that I or a character's personality that I haven't tried before, a situation that I haven't experienced before. I like the one for Dinner for Two. I was so excited to read that one because I was like, I'm never angry like this. I want to do this so bad. And this week has sucked. I really want to read this story. If I'm feeling really depressed, if I'm feeling excited, it depends on my mood and it depends on what I
Mhm.
feel like doing.
No, no, that makes a lot of sense. You know,
Yes.
it's like we use these stories as outlets, you know, from the writing point and the narration point. Like yeah, you're in tune to the character and you're able to let those emotions out. And it's so beautiful. I love
Yeah.
it so much. Just the
Yeah.
synergy of it is amazing.
Where's your accent from?
My accent?
Yeah.
I have an accent? Oh no.
Yes, you do. Oh no.
No, it's odd. So I was born and raised in the South, actually. My parents are Vietnamese, and like I said, I was born and raised in the South.
Hmm.
Um, I try so hard to not have a country slash Southern accent. I don't have an issue with it per se. I just don't want to have an accent. So I always try my best to like carefully make sure I'm talking like like make sure all my my words sound quote quote proper.
Uh huh.
So but I've let it slip one time. I don't know. It was a lapse in judgment. Perhaps I was drunk. Who knows? But I was like, hey, you guys want to go to the theater? And I was like, where did that come from? I've never said it like that before. You guys want to watch a movie at the theater? And I was like, God, that'll never happen ever again.
Not on purpose, anyway.
And God, yeah, not a person, not when I'm sober. But no, but yeah, I don't think I try not to have accent.
I
Now I'm
immediately
nervous.
think Southern immediately from you.
Oh
I
no.
know, and I'm sorry, but it's true.
You know my deep and terrible secret.
Yep, it's there. Uh,
Oh no.
um, there's a twang to the way you talk that makes me immediately think Southern, and I can't put a finger on it.
You know, text to speech sounds very appealing now. Just instantly. I don't know why.
That's not happening today, bro. Not today. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say. See, it's not just you; it's me too.
What has been your least favorite like character that you've voiced?
Hmm.
Or what is one role you've done you're like, man, I wish I would have done that a little bit different.
I can't remember. I can't remember which one it was. And it's gonna always be at some point or at one point or another. It's gonna always be the one where I had to play a guy, and I didn't feel like I went deep enough or that I was enough of a dude.
I've heard
Mm.
someone talk about that recently. Is they they try to avoid stories, or something along the lines of this, is they try to avoid stories where there's a male protagonist because they don't want to voice, they don't feel, they don't, it feels like they're taking the listener out of the story if they're a female voice narrating a male role
Mm.
or vice versa, you know? Um, I don't think so. I don't think it ever takes people out. From my point of view, I don't think so. But I can understand where people will feel that way, actually. Mm. Um, like a lot of my stories are written from a female perspective,
I noticed that.
and I'm waiting to get canceled. No,
We all will be eventually.
no. Morbid.
Yeah.
But but yeah, it's very interesting. You know, like I'll write a lot of my stories in a female perspective, not because it's like I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it just feels like at the time for that story, it just feels better that way. But for people narrating, I don't think they should ever worry about that. You know, it's being portrayed in their way, so I always think it's great. You know, nonetheless.
I think for your story, I see her. I didn't put. I don't think I put like like male tone type, kind of thing to it.
Hmm.
I think I just read it as myself, and just I guess now they're lesbian because the person's going out with another female.
Sure.
Like whatever. I didn't think that would be an issue for you at all. I didn't think you would care about
No, I
that.
like it's like oh no, not at all. No, absolutely, absolutely not. Yeah, like I said, like those are feelings the feelings portrayed in that story are feelings that anyone can feel. You know, so it doesn't have to be a male lead. You're like I want like I said, I want my listeners or readers, I want them to be fully into the main character's shoes. Just forget all that. Don't forget that they're uh male something something or female something something. I want you to be in their shoes going through all this with the character. You know, that's why I try to go for.
When I'm listening to true, quote unquote, true scary stories, and it starts, and let's say it's a guy who's talking, and
Mhm.
but you've realized maybe a few lines later that it's actually a woman, and the guy didn't do, yeah, you just, hey, and the guy doesn't do anything to make their voice sound any different, an octave higher or anything. My brain has to adjust because it matters. Is this a guy that's going through this? Is this a woman who's going through this? It's very different.
But but I understand. Yeah, it does be like, oh, wait a minute. Now you have to like replay everything in your mind and be like,
Yes.
oh, okay, this is really scary.
Yes. I would prefer have if it's a female for a female to read it, but if the guy at least does something, changes their voice a little bit, makes it a little bit higher so that I can already be in that mindset and I don't have to do those mental gymnastics in order to be there where I need to be in the story, then I
Mm.
like that too. You don't have to, dude. Some guys can't pull that off.
Or yeah. Or, like go ahead and establish that line. Put that first sentence. I am a X, age blank, female
Right.
blank.
Yes.
So like go ahead and establish that and then be like, okay, for great. But yeah, it's like, oh, I was going through this and this
Yes.
and like then, oh, by the way, I'm a female. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then because like you're already playing that imagery in your
Yes.
brain. So, yeah.
That's a good point. If they did start it off as I'm a 15-year-old female, I'm walking down a dark alley, then at that point I'm fine with whatever your voice sounds like. I am there with you.
Uh,
Good point.
mm. But hey, I mean, listen, guys,
Hmm.
gals out there, it's fine. Sure, just try your best. Cool. I can't do a female voice, nor can I do a manly voice. So,
Hey, that's not true. Let's rewind that. Speaking of voices, because your voice is different when you narrate. It is.
isn't it? Oh
It's.
man. Oh great. Well, perfect.
Did you not know?
No,
Yeah,
no, not at all.
your voice sounds deeper when you narrate. The poem that you read for Valentine's Day, I think it was.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, let's get the cringing out. It was great. And yeah, you sounded different. Your voice sounded deeper and you have a deeper narration voice. I'm surprised you didn't realize that.
No. I always try to do because I play D&D, I DM, and I always try to do different voices for things. I like in my brain, it's like, God, these all sound the same. Like I'm trying my best to like have, to differentiate these characters from my players. And it's like, man, these all sound the same, right? Am I? But then
Yeah.
I guess I'm crazy. So,
Oopsies.
whoops.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. My other horrible secret.
We
I'm
all
crazy.
are.
I'm a yeah, I'm a horror writer. Oh God,
Does that
it's completely
exist? A
insane.
sane horror writer?
Yeah.
Perish the thought.
God, I mean,
I don't think it's
I
possible.
don't know. I don't think so. I mean, uh, it's that's very odd. That's very odd to think about, because like, what would your definition of
Mm.
insane or sane be at that point?
Ooh.
We're gonna go really philosophical in this. Like, like let's say Stephen King. Stephen King, I heard is a sweetheart, but he's like a lot of his writing he put into his own personal fears. Then there's artists like Junji Ito. Junji Ito specializes in his body horror, but that dude's a teddy bear. He is so sweet, and he's able to pull out the most horrifying
Mm.
imagery with body horror. But he's such a sweet looking old man. Like, and then I guess, that can be,
I mean,
yeah,
right. I mean,
weird.
insane.
No.
You don't have to be wearing a tinfoil hat. You could just be broken emotionally. You could just, hey,
Oh,
hey,
wow.
I write horror
Thanks. Appreciate
and
it.
I am also broken. I will
Hmm.
admit that 100%. And that is why I write horror.
Yes, yeah, like I mean, I love horror. I mean, we're able to, convey these emotions in a safe and friendly way,
Shoot, sort of.
sort of. God, have you seen what I do to my characters? Golly.
Yeah. Yes, I have. I am very familiar with them. Ugh. I enjoyed writing that story with you. I started a story. I got maybe a couple of paragraphs going and I had a lot of bullet points to the story, but I wasn't able to write it and formulate it into an actual story. So I was like, "Here, Anthony, take this, please." And you did your
Listen, I
magical
was I was
thing.
holding this briefcase that was emanating a golden light when I opened it. I was like, should I? Are you sure I should be carrying this? I am. I was so nervous the entire time writing, and
I
I was so
know.
stuck. I was so stuck. I was like, man, hopefully I do this story well. And I still hope you think my story's fine. Um, yeah, my I don't know. I always think my writing process or the way I write is weird, I guess.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know how I explain it. Uh in for my writing, I always feel like my introductions for the characters are so long. Like honestly, my stories in general run about 3,000 words. And I always think like half of that is just like, oh, rambling. And like, but like for me, like I don't know, in a deeper sense, I'm just trying to get these characters established and having whoever's reading to like really, connect to these characters, which is why I try to like have like a very long introduction for them. I don't want them to be like instantly pulled into the horror, not just yet. I want them to be like, slowly walking with this character as they read. Um, but God, I was so nervous. And then you had this one bullet point, and I was like, oh, I have to research this. Like, how did you know which part I'm talking about?
Oh, yes, that one?
So that part, I've never heard of that. So I had to like go into like a deep dive, like medical research into why and how this happens. Because that happens with a lot of things I write. And if I'm like picking up something, I'm like, does this happen? I was like, "There's no way." And I looked it up and I was like,
Oh, does
"Oh, this
it?
does happen." And I had to ask,
Oh,
yes. Yes, Dodge. Yes, Dodge. That is a real thing. And I had to ask my friends that are like in the medical field. I was like, "Hey, is this possible?" He was like, "Yeah, I guess like it does happen. There are cases of
Oh.
this." And I was like, "Oh, this is interesting."
Ah.
And I was like, "Yeah, no, Dodge.
I didn't
Yes."
think it happened. It was one of those things where I was like, this could probably happen. And the fact that it actually happens is mortifying.
No, no, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I had to like my poor computer search history.
I'm sorry. Um, I'm going. Spoiler alert! If you haven't heard, did we even come up with a title for it?
Hey, that's
I
on
don't
you.
think we came. Oh
No, yeah, that's
shoot! I
on
gotta come
you.
up with a title. Ah,
Is that one going to be part of the bedtime
I
or
don't.
nighttime? I don't,
I don't know. I think. Oh, I think not because at that point, if I added that into it, it'll probably take it over the 2 hour mark, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to stick with 2 hours. I think it will not. I
Actually,
think it should. I think it deserves to have its own video, don't you?
oh, absolutely. Do I have it? Did I have a title for it? I don't remember having a title for it.
Me neither.
I think I just put Dodge's story.
I think
Let me
so.
double.
And I can't think of one. So if this story, spoiler alert for the story that I co-wrote with Dark Hero X. Um, at some, this is the one where the girls go out on a girls' night out. She runs into a guy, and one of her friend and the guy ends up hitting it off and dating, and the part that is probably the part that Anthony is referring to is when the guy ends up getting so backed up that fecal matter comes out the other end, comes out of his orifice mouth. I'm trying to put this in a nice way. There's no nice way to put it. This is a horror story, and I'm sorry. Um, it. I don't know where I was going with that, and it completely derailed me.
Listen,
Yes.
I was so stuck on that fact. And I was like, no, really, really. I was like, after I did my research, I was like, all right, Anthony, let's write this. It's like we know we because I write backwards, you know. So I always plan the ending first, then the middle, then the intro. I was like, ooh boy, how are we gonna get to this point, guys?
Yes. You
Like,
did
how are we going?
so good.
How are we going to get to where all this leads up to this guy?
You
I was
did
like, all right.
so good because I couldn't come up with the middle. And I could only come up with the beginning and the end, and the middle was just like, So you were able to give the characters life and give them a personality. It made them 3D, and I really appreciate the work that you put into it. You did so good.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So it's yeah, like you have to like go through this whole journey with these characters, and that was a very horrible thing at the very end. And like, oh man, the conflict near the end, like I was so glad to like bounce back and forth with you on that one
Yes.
because that was fun. That was very, very fun to do.
I love it.
Because you wanted this to be implemented and a little bit more instead of this. I was like, oof, okay, great. So let's tweak this a little bit. And yeah, I love that. I had so much fun writing with you.
I I always laugh like that.
Mhm.
Yes, and thank you for being so open-minded. Because some writers would just be like, "No, it's my baby. Don't touch it. It's priceless." But you were just
Oh
like,
God, no.
no, let's, what are you thinking? What do you really think? And you made it so easy. So if anyone,
Like,
go ahead, go ahead.
no, I mean, no, it's just like it was your story too, lady. You know.
Our
So
story, yes.
yeah, yeah, this is our story. So you should definitely have your say in this and that. No biggie whatsoever.
So if y'all are looking to get help with a writing project, or want to if you want to commission Anthony for for any kind of writing project, then reach out. I'll leave his details in the description, in the comments, so that you know where to find him.
Listen, I'm not the greatest, but I'll be glad to work on anyone's little stories, little spoopy little stories. Is my main one of my biggest joys in life.
Why horror? Why horror?
Ooh, that is a interesting question. Being Like, okay, so whenever I was younger, my grandmother used to tell us ghost stories, from Vietnam. She'll say like in her hut, when wherever she was sleeping in, she would see and hear the ghosts of like soldiers, going through,
Wow.
long gone, by the way.
Yeah.
And she'll just tell us these little stories and this and that, and I it, it's just something that brings the family together. No, it's just something that it just clicked with me, you know? And then going as I got older, horror is great to, scientifically, it releases a lot of like, chemicals in your brain and stuff like that, the feelings of adrenaline, and without being in danger yourself, But, also it helps me um bring out all of these dark and negative emotions that I have. And horror, I believe horror can make people sane, you know, because it's one of those things like, oh, um, life isn't that bad because I have I'm not having this horrible monster chasing after me. It will release all that dark tension in your body, I believe. So I don't know. It's just something that I just love. I've always loved watching horror movies, listening to scary stories. It's just always made me feel good afterwards. And I hope people that read my stories feel the same.
Do you feel that after writing a horror story, do you feel like you're, I want to say lighter, but is there like some kind of cathartic feeling afterwards? A release in a way?
Yeah. Like once it's all said and done, the end, it's it is to me like a lot of like letting out of a deep breath, you know, which will be immediately filled with anxiety when I post the stories. But um, no, it just feels if I do feel a lot better. Because like my main wish, complete honesty, is like I wish this reaches out to the right people, so it'll make them feel, so it'll give them that also kind of thing. But yeah, golly, whenever I'm like, okay, time to post this for everybody to
Yeah.
see, it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
That immediately I'm filled with like all the anxiety that I had before, but it's fine. Oh, the struggles of being a writer slash content creator slash writer slash narrator. Yeah, I know you understand the
Oh,
feeling.
yes. Oh, yes.
Mhm.
When I write something,
Mhm.
when I write something, the things I write are very dark. are
Mm.
usually are usually deal with mental anxiety, depression. They deal usually with spousal abuse and just really heavy subjects. And,
Mm.
and but after I finish writing it, I feel a release. I feel a, a little sane. I, I can't
No,
explain
yo,
it.
absolutely. No, no, no. Yeah, you said it. You said it better than I did. Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, like you're writing through and you're working. It's therapeutic. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you're working through your emotions with these characters that you made up in your brain, or through through this writing process that you have,
Mm.
and it's so therapeutic. You know, 10 out of 10. Would
Would
recommend.
recommend it. Yes.
Would
Write
recommend.
a horror
If you
story.
want post, if you yeah, also if you want to post it online, push all that anxiety away. Post it. Always post your stories. People, your stories will reach the right people.
I should post it. I think I'm going to post the stories that I wrote. I didn't post on Reddit. I only narrated it. I wonder how they would be taken because they're not horror in the traditional sense. There's no. It's not a haunted house. There's no murderer. The
Mhm.
the murderer is inside the person's mind. It's themselves. So would you still consider that to be a horror story?
Yes, that's a horrifying thing to
Mm.
happen. You know, it's because like it's you're fighting
Mm.
yourself, and that's you're your own
Yeah.
worst enemy. That's scary. And people, that's something that people struggle with is just that. Yeah, it's horrifying. Yeah, it's definitely a horror. Absolutely.
Do you write any horror stories that don't have? Hmm. I see her sort of had a happy ending in that, you know, the couple or the two people who were on the date, they the two people who were on the date, she let the main character know, no, I do care about you. You're being silly. You need to get help. But, the main character is still being haunted by this apparition of negativity or of sadness. And, it's never really resolved. You never really find out what happens after they drive off into the sunset. It's still up in the air. So are you planning on having a part two to that, or are you going to leave it that way?
I'm going to leave it that way because I want whoever's reading it slash narrating it, I want them to hopefully I want you guys to conclude with a happy ending, but more of a bittersweet
Mm,
ending because that's just something that people, a lot of people just deal with. But then it's not always like the perfect
right.
ending. There's no such thing as a perfect
Mm,
ending to me. So I like to leave a lot of the endings kind of open like that. So, one, you can interpret it however you want, but like that's just the reality of it. That's just something that this character is going to have to go through, probably for for a long time or for the rest of their life. It's just how it is. That's just the reality. Um, and speaking from that character, from my
mm.
point of view, I don't think, I don't think I don't think so at the moment, but there's always a chance. There's always a chance that he'll get better.
When you leave it in the hands of the reader, it's I don't know how to put it, but it has more weight when the reader is writing the ending of the main characters.
Um, like, oh, yeah, I know a lot of people that are like, oh, like what happens
Yeah.
next? It's just always. I think it's a little bit better for the reader to do that. Even just how would you interpret it? You said you interpreted it a little bit as a good ending,
In a
correct?
way, because yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they let each other know how they really felt.
Mm-hmm.
And I also saw it as like sort of sad because they're going to have to deal with this, and this is going to be something that isn't going to be an easy fix apparently, because this whatever is,
Right.
this monkey is on their back. And yeah, something is still not right in them that's allowing that monkey to stay there. So you can tell that it's going to be a long journey for that person, because they're not like, yeah, I got this.
That is the perfect story. Like going back to like the very end of that story is like him looking in the rearview mirror or him looking into the mirror and seeing the reflection of her. That is another good thing of like just how I interpret it as a
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. It's just uh yeah. It's like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect ending to me. So anyone can interpret it
Mm-hmm.
however they want.
A lot of
Oof. Oof. That was a God, that's such a beautiful question. Thank you.
I try. Why do you think that you have so many female characters in your stories?
I think females are much more in tune to their emotions
Mm,
than males.
mm,
Most cases, we live in a society that's like, oh, guys can't feel. That's wrong. That's weak. But to me, emotions aren't weak. It's emotions carry a lot of weight. They carry a lot of power, and I think you know, well, I don't know, women are powerful for being able to express such emotions, and I think it's easier for me to express my emotions through these powerful characters. Um, and so um, yeah, for me, like a lot of my more emotional stories or have a
mm.
female lead. It's just more. It feels better because they're able to interpret, like express their emotions like that. Not saying that guys can't. I do have emotional stories with guys in it, but it just feels a little bit better.
Interesting that the person in I See Her is battling with their emotions and with saying how they feel. But the
Exactly.
female
Mhm.
is like, no, don't
Mhm.
be an idiot. I really care about you. Like, and she's the one who kind of brings him back to earth, gets him off the ledge. But still they're battling with saying how they feel and what they're going through. That's really heavy, Anthony.
Yeah. Here's a little bit more insight, and edit this out if it's too deep. So during that trip, because I based this completely off of a trip that I
Mm,
had to New Orleans, and I was with my friend, and I have frequent panic attacks. Not as much anymore. Yeah, I'm in my healing phase. But um, it was late one night. It was late that night, and I had a panic attack, and I was filled with those emotions, and I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed to have a panic attack around this girl, and she, she I was like, hey, I'm sorry that freaked you out. And she's like, no, it didn't. And like, it's okay. I'm here. It's okay. And she waited for me to fall asleep, and then she fell asleep afterwards. And that's why I based a lot of the story on that story on is yeah, you know. Uh yeah, the character is definitely struggling to express his emotions, but yeah, having that female figure to help him go through that, work through that in that moment was amazing.
that's so sweet. Oh, those people are rare. They're hard to find.
Yeah, we're still very good friends.
I'm glad. I'm glad that she's in your life.
God, yeah. Emotions are such a very, very pivotal process in my writing. Ooh, all right.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm great. It's this I don't know that this works still. It's like, was that too much?
No. No, I don't think it was.
Like I said, I am an open book. You can literally ask me anything. I'll tell you.
You'll
So
have to tell me if it was too much. It's
no, no. I think it's fine.
no, that's great. I love hearing the backstory of a story.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm glad that you were able to connect with that too.
Hmm.
Like as from writing that, that's yeah, one of the best things for me. I want to reach out to everyone and have them feel the same thing.
I fortunately have never seen a ghost. Thank you, Jesus, because I don't know. I don't know actually what would happen. A part of me feels like my heart would stop and I would die. But another part of me is just like, because I've heard so many horror stories and stuff, I would just be like, huh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I would be filled with so much more questions. Like if I were to able ever see a ghost, like can you communicate with me? Are you just gonna fade
Yeah,
away, like cliche
yeah.
wise? Like
What type of ghost are you?
um yeah, like why are you here? Why can I see you now? Like what's your like can I pull out my notes so I can like write this
Yeah,
down?
can we talk?
But yeah. You want to join on this interview that we're
That
doing?
would just be the best for a
Um
horror writer. Just to have a to have a ghost in their home and just be like, hey, how you doing? Why are you here?
yeah. It's like, listen, man, I've been bashing away at this keyboard. Can you edit this for me? Uh, can you just run through? Is this ghosty to you? Is this spoopy
Yeah, what
enough?
do you think? Is it real?
What do you think,
Realistic?
man? What do you think? What's his name? Carlton? I don't
Whatever.
know.
Yeah.
Whatever. He has to be an older, much older
Frederick.
ghost.
Ah,
Reginald?
Reginald.
Reginald? Is this okay?
Yeah.
I tried to convey your emotions to,
Mm,
Reginald, but
yeah, you let me know.
okay. You keep on sending me chills down my spine, so I think is it good? I don't know, man. Help me help you.
Help me help you. Here's an Ouija board,
Yeah.
candles, salt, pepper. I don't know. What do you need?
Hmm. Okay, I was actually asked this recently, but like, how as the reader, narrator, how do you feel about like tropes or like cliches? A lot of people will call them cliches. I don't like calling them cliches. Just certain horror. What's a horror trope that you love?
Hmm.
Are you into the chase, the monster chasing you? Is it the like um looking into the rearview mirror and seeing something like blah 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 blah? What's the trope that you will never get tired of? Or are you tired of just hearing these tropes in general because you read so many stories, you know?
That's a good point. I've read so many. It's hard to find one. It's hard to find a story that captures your attention. I, gosh, I love the I love and hate it. To be honest, I love and hate the horror trope that the monster was in me the whole time. That kind of trope. There wasn't
Mm,
really
okay.
anything wrong. It was my perception of things that made it wrong, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
realistic, in a
Yeah.
sense too. Yeah. Interesting. Um, my trope
Mm.
I love is I love fear in the mundane. I guess is that a trope? Sure. Like I love the bumps and I love the bumps
Mm-hmm.
at night. You know, the noises at night, the scratching on the
Yes.
floor, you know, on the wooden panels. And you know, that's it's just it because no matter who imagines in it, oh my goodness, I am not a narrator. Whoever imagines it is, you know, it's always going to be either similar or a little bit different. So like that's everyone's interpretation of that bump in the night. I just heard something bang. Like it's just it's everyone has a different take on it. I think it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting. And like that going back to tropes is one of my friends came up to me and was like, I don't know how you write because I'm afraid of being too
Mm.
cliche. And I hate that term cliche. I just think like these are just tropes that are just in any kind of common media, you know, stories or whatever. Like just try your best to make that trope your own, you know. I have plenty of stories that a lot of my stories are just something X being chased by Y, you know. This is going to be, you know, it's just how it is. You know, just try to your best to interpret it the way you can. Interpretate it. Interpret.
I heard
Golly.
interpret. That's what I heard.
I, s- I said I definitely said interpretate. Edit out, please.
I I'll try.
Also fix my accent.
I don't think I'm that good at editing.
No,
Please.
please. So Dodge is gonna like redub my lines.
It's gonna sound like
Uh,
Morgan Freeman.
just my name's Dark Hero, and oh my god, yeah,
Yes. For you, I will.
perfect.
Uh,
And so, how do you get past like have you reached a point where you're like, man, uh, do you get tired of your voice? Or like, oh no, that's an odd way of saying that. It's like, when do you get to that point where you're like, uh, you won't be as self-conscious about your voice? I guess is that a good
mm,
question? That's because I know that's something you know a lot of. I've been seeing a lot more narrators come up recently, and you know they're always worried about this and that. I am. I'm worried about my voice, and then apparently I have a southern twang, and now I'm really
I'm
self-conscious about it.
sorry, but I didn't hear it in your poem. So I'm wondering if I'm even speaking to the same person.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's Light Hero. Uh, the two X's at the end are
Like
swapped.
protagonist.
It's X, X, X. It's X,
Yeah,
X, not
there's
X, X.
it's X squared. Uh,
X squared.
they a lot of narrators hate their voice no matter what. They just they edit it and just move on like and just as fast as they can because they can't stand the sound of their voice. I I love my voice. I don't get tired of it. I'm that's just me. Sometimes people can grow to love their voice where it's not so painful to listen to. Maybe they change it in a way that it makes it easier to listen to, but I didn't realize what I had until I started narrating and people told me that I had a nice voice. I just thought I could read.
Oh man, you're far off. Everyone out there, Dodge has the perfect voice.
Oh, stop it. No, I don't.
Dodge has the perfect voice.
No, sir.
You are one of the top great voice actresses for
You
me.
are lying to me.
No, absolutely not. That's not even me being like I said. I already told you I'm like one of the most honest people. No, I have no reason to lie. Absolutely not. I love listening to your stuff to your work. And I think that's I think what you do is great, like the outtakes. I think a lot of people need to be like embrace those
Mm.
outtakes. I can't. So whenever was recording for Through the Fog, I can't tell you how many times
How many times?
I was like, because like, it was one season. He's like, can you just say the titles for me of your stories and like your name? Oh my god! I was like, I'm Dark Hero, and this story is. What was the name of the story I wrote this?
It's your story.
Yeah, like I deleted the outtakes do not exist, but like you should have heard of. I was like, I'm Dark Hero. Like I'm I'm Dark Hero, and this is like I can hear myself
Yes.
click. Like
Yes. That annoys me when I can hear my mouth click and I can hear my siblings. Yes.
yes, it's like I'm Dark Hero, and oh man, I'm breathing way too heavy. Oh my god, I could I could I can see it. I can visually see it in front of me in Audacity. The Audacity. Um,
Even when you were just saying that, your voice sounded deeper. When you were making believe you were narrating your titles, your voice gets deeper.
that's funny. That's funny.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't hear it.
And
I don't
it
hear it.
gets bassier too.
But
Yeah.
it's like, I need to hear, re-listen to those, um, episode
Yeah.
card titles, I guess. And he asked me to do a skit with him. Oh, I was so nervous about that skit. Actually, he actually had me narrate the full story of mine. It was Mr. Clackety
Did you?
was what it was called, and God, that was so awkward. It was in I think somewhere in season two of his no season early season two or late season one. But yeah, I was so nervous. I don't see how you narrators can do this. Read. You can read. Oh my god, how do you
What?
do that?
Why? You would think that it would be easier to read it since it was your own story. No? I'm guessing
Oh,
no.
no, I was more nervous because it was gonna be on this guy's podcast, and like,
Oh, I
and
see.
I was like, oh, am I reading this right? Yes, you idiot, you wrote this.
Am I reading it right?
Am I reading
Oh.
this right? I wrote the no, I actually the pro like while I was doing it, I was
Mm.
reading it. I was like, oh, why did I write it like this? And I was like, should I clean this up? So like, so I did actually a lot of some of the lines I did clean up, and yeah, that was like one of my early stories. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, early stories. That's weird to say.
Um. Mm.
Yeah, those 31 horror stories were. Did you narrate any of those, or did he do it straight through? I think he did it straight through.
Ah.
Those were like short micro. I call them micro stories because they're only like like not even 1,500 words. It was like 5 minutes per episode that for those.
I did How to Beat the Sandman and the Blank Revolt.
Oh, I do remember. Oh man, those are good. I remember those. I remember. Um, I did. I thoroughly enjoyed the and Enter the Sandman. Was it that? I remember
How
the
to Beat the
Sandman in the
Sandman.
title. How to Beat the Sandman. Yes, Enter the Sandman's a song name. Excuse
Don't
me.
sing it.
Uh, yes, yeah. Um, no, I thoroughly
I
enjoyed that one.
did not
That was a good story.
expect it to turn out so well, and it was a little intimidating. It was intimidating because so many
What do you
people
mean?
had narrated it. Um, but I don't know. I don't know, Anthony. The way it was.
I don't like to have. I don't even think that. I don't like that thought process because it's. I just said like five times before. Every narrator
I,
has their own version of
yes,
it.
but there's still one that's good. There's still one that more people prefer over the others. There's still that.
Uh, Whatever. No, false news.
Fake news.
Someone call Fox.
Fake news. Okay.
Fake
Okay.
news. No, no, no. I think I've heard. Um, I think I've heard maybe two, including yours,
Mm.
narrations of this story. Um, both amazing, and I do have to say, yours suck. No, just kidding. Yours was amazing.
And it's if I wasn't the favorite, I understand. I just wanted to make sure that the author liked it. That's that's the main thing. Yes, maybe the listeners like it, but does the author like it?
So I always wonder about that. Because that's from he got that from the site, I believe. That's open.
Yes. Was that Red
So I
Nova
always
Tyrant?
thought I was yes. I
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I believe so. Yeah. So I've always wondered, like, I don't know. I always try to be like very active in who narrates my stories, and like I always try to like ask for links, and hopefully they share the links with me. I wonder, like, hey man, how was it? Like, if you're listening out there, how was Dodge's
What did
what'd
he
you think?
say?
No, like I said, like I don't know, what would he say?
Oh, he saw it.
I always think that's interesting. Did
He
he?
did, and he left a comment.
What did he say? He said it was the best one he's ever
No,
heard.
he didn't.
No doubt.
He didn't say
No
that. I'm
doubt.
checking right now to see what he
He
said.
said
Most likely it was like
hard quotes.
heart heart
T-
emojis.
10, 10, 10 out of 10 would recommend. It is the best narration.
You are insanely kind.
Well, that's correct. Yes, you are insanely kind. Yes.
Those are my two adjectives. Yes.
Mm, mm,
Uh,
mm,
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 mm, mm.
mm, mm, mm. I was so nervous. I think I'm a better now. I feel much more comfortable. I'm glad that you took you're taking the time to talk to me. Uh yeah, one of the popular kids is talking to me.
Dude, I'm talking to the
Wild
popular
guys.
kid. I am talking to the popular kid.
Whatever.
You're the one who you
In
have
what
so,
school?
in the this is the performing arts school. You are the popular kid.
Oh God, we're
Yeah,
all
we are.
weirdos.
We're equally weird. You got
Oh,
theater
we're all
kids and
weirdos.
the
We're just
artsy fartsy kids and the writer kids, the screenwriters and the writers. Yes.
we're all listening to
Oh
My Chemical
God.
Romance.
Oh, okay. So he said, Red Nova Tyrant. He said, an oddly relaxing but still excellent rendition. Thank you for narrating the story.
In writer speak, he was like, "That's perfect." It was 10 out
Oh,
of
that's the
10.
Google translation.
Yeah,
Writer
it's a Google
speak.
translation, right?
That meant so
Writer
much to
speak.
me because I didn't think that he would listen to it or find it because so many people have done it already. So
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I've always wondered about that. I was like,
mm-hmm.
how would they know that their stories are being narrated? That I mean, of course it's gonna be narrated. It's a great story, but like, who's doing it? What time? I was
Yeah.
like, that's interesting. I need to post on that. I need to post on that site later.
I'm I'm excited about posting my stories on Reddit to see what happens. I'm gonna be looking for 2 sentence horror stories, but I kind of I feel people are doing those. I feel like I want to do like third sentence worse.
That's interest. That is interesting. But those are all. I don't know. I enjoy listening to them, and they're extremely hard to write. Holy crap!
Yes, they are.
Because I already put like 3,000 words minimum to most of my stories. I can't put them down to like two sentences. That's so hard. I think I've posted maybe five or six two-sentence horror stories. And I think one of them got taken down because I was like, it was a run on. I was like, I'm sorry. I can't. I tried my
See?
best.
But those are the ones that do the best, right? The ones that get taken down, they do so well. It's just oh, I'll still take it. I'll make that a third sentence worse if you want. Do you remember what it was?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Mm.
Let's see. I have a few. They're all around. Honestly, like a few of them, I was standing in line for a. It was that same. It was that same haunted house, actually, that I was talking about earlier. I was standing in line for that haunted house, and then I was like, two cents horror story. Let's see. Actually, this is similar to a story that I'm working on right now. My mom and dad keep yelling at me to take my medication. They assure me that it'll make me better. But every time I take them, they fade away, and I remember that they've been dead for years.
Oh, I love that one. I'll find it.
Let's see. I'll just send it to you. My heart was beating out of my chest as the water in my bathtub began to bubble wildly. An uploaded figure emerged. I smiled as I imagined the look on my husband's face. He can't call me a useless mom if there's no baby.
Whoa. Hi. This is gonna end up being just I'm just gonna end up doing all of yours. It's just gonna be a week of Dark Hero X work.
That's no, please don't.
Oh, I
Your
get
channel will go
so
down so
many.
fast. No, no. My stories aren't that good. But I remember Dustin was like, I can't be using your stories all the
Dustin, yeah. Really?
time. Yeah, he was like, I can't be using your stories all the time. Yeah, because like when we first, um, God, the first season, yeah, that was when we first started talking. Was he did a lot of my stories in the first season.
Oh.
And we're nerd. Oh, here's one. As I admired her cute little face as she slept in her crib, I couldn't help but feel blessed that this baby was mine. I tightened my grip on my hand axe as I proceeded into her parents' bedroom. Hopefully, the screams won't wake her.
Yes, I remember reading that and saying I'm going to add that to the two sentence horror stories. I remember that one.
I remember my very, very
Ouija
first
board out.
two-sentence
Really? I
horror
was
story,
going to.
and I immediately took it off. I was like, please, no, no one commented, no one liked it. It's horrible.
Wait, what?
Don't like, yeah, like my very, very first two-sentence horror story. I posted it, and I waited like 1 minute, and I immediately took it off.
Aw.
I took it down.
Aw. Do you regret
I
it?
know, it's so stupid. Yeah, because I regret it now because I believe that if you have something you should just
Just
post it.
post it.
Like, it doesn't matter who likes it. Because I follow a creed that, or I think that your works will reach the right people. And that was one it was a moment of weakness in my early stages of writing and posting online. It's like, don't do that, guys. Don't just post it. Your narration, whatever you're working on, art, post it. It's it's better to have done than to regret it.
What's that been like for you to post something publicly on Reddit and then to realize that someone else is taking credit for your work?
I had that happen recently, and it was I I got a message. This was a few weeks ago. I think I
Yeah,
talked to you
you
about it,
did.
didn't I? But it was a few weeks ago when I had a message on Reddit say, "Hey, I believe this person's taking your
Mm.
stories." I was like, "What?" And I looked at the site. They gave me a link, and they've used like two or three of my stories. And I was like, surely this is maybe coincidental,
Mm-hmm.
titles, sure. I clicked on it. I was like, no, this is definitely my story. And it was completely copy and pasted. And
Wait, what do you mean? They read it or they just took the story and put it
No,
in
they
another
copied they
website.
they took they copied my story from
Mm,
Reddit and they posted it onto this site. Um, what was that site called? Hold on. I remember I did a post on the Sleepless Watchdogs
right.
about it because someone else, another writer, brought it up too. So, and he was wondering what he should do. And let's see, it was blah 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 blah. A Medium. The site was called Medium, and I assume that it's. I haven't really heard too much of it, but it's a little site where you can post your stories online. And yeah, they it was like two or three of my stories that they completely copied and pasted and said that it was their work. And I was filled with a mix of
Mm.
emotions. First of all, shocked. I was like, "Really? You want to use my stories?" And then it shifted into like, "Wow,
Yeah.
man, you're using my
Yes.
stories."
Yes.
And like the comments were like, "Oh, you're such an amazing writer," blah 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 blah.
Wow.
I'm like, ugh. It's a very like surreal moment where I was like, wait, wait, I can't take compliments, but I don't want someone else stealing.
Wait, those are my
And
compliments, not yours.
those are my
Yeah.
compliments. Yeah, no, but like it was just a very bizarre feeling. And I was like, what should I do? And I was like, I think I should report this to the authorities. And I I couldn't find because they didn't have a an email address or anything. I couldn't directly message them and be like, hey, stop that. That's not
Yeah.
nice. So I just had to message the support that the site had, and yeah, honestly, very seamless. I just showed them the links. I showed them links to my original story, the date for him, and yeah, they took it down, and I think they took down his site completely because it was all of his stories that were taken from multiple people.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
And they're asking for donations,
Wow.
and like that's when I was like, come
See.
on, like,
Oh, the balls.
mm, yeah, and it's like, wow, it's it just kind of blew my mind. Like I was filled with just shock,
Hmm.
disbelief, but then a little bit of anger near the end. I was like, man, like you just like you stole my baby away from
Yes.
me, you monster.
Yes. See, that's what I worry about when I see, like, when I think of posting on Reddit. Like, is someone just going to try to take my story and do whatever they want with it? But that's great that you were able to get some resolution to it. That's good.
I have to say, for at least No Sleep, the Sleepless Watchdogs, which they deserve much more credit, recognition, blah blah blah,
Mm,
etc. Like they're a group of people that are truly dedicated to the No Sleep, um,
mm.
stories, and they're on it. Yeah, they're always on it. And I wouldn't have known until someone messaged me, and it's amazing the work that they do into making sure that people know, at least the writers know that their stories are being used without their
Wow.
permission. I say it's amazing, truly, truly amazing. And like, guys, just don't do that. Don't. Also, if you're narrating, make sure the writer's cool with it. That's another thing that came up too, of like a couple of months ago was a narrator wasn't didn't have links to my story. They just posted it. And I had one, it was posted onto TikTok. And I think that's like I'm pretty chill, but I know other people would be a little disappointed, you know? And yeah, just don't do that, guys. Be kind, Link.
I I know for YouTube you can't add Reddit links to the description anymore. I don't know, but I mean, you're talking about they didn't put They cut off the title. They didn't say who wrote it. Nothing. No
Mhm,
acknowledgement.
mhm, mhm. Right,
That's
right.
messed up.
And at the very least, this is 2023. We have like some kind of form of social media, most of us. And a lot of writers would, if they want to pursue this as a serious thing, they would more than likely have Twitter. Yeah, because like that's been brought up a lot of times, very recently because of the way YouTube has changed. It's like one person's like, "Hey, I don't think I can narrate your story because I can't link to it. Is that okay?" Just link my Twitter. It's fine. That's cool, right? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Yeah. At least they know where to find
right.
me. Yeah.
See, yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah, but like zero at all, like that's ugh,
That leaves a
come
bad
on.
taste. Yeah,
That's
that's
rude.
rude.
That's rude.
I don't know what else. Probably people would probably want to know what your writing process. What's your writing process like? You say it's kind of weird.
Um, I don't know. I wouldn't even say it's weird. So my writing process is I have a jumble of thoughts all the time, everywhere, all at
Yes.
once. So I just kind of pick what I kind of feel at the moment and try to connect it to how I'm feeling at the time.
Mm,
And I work backwards. So
mm,
I know how it's going to end. I always know how my stories are going to end.
yes.
And then I work on the middle part, like mentally. This is all happening mentally or when I'm outlining. The middle part, the climax, the conflict, or the conflict.
Mm,
So I always have that planned out because I know that's going to lead up to it. Funny thing is that I always struggle with the beginning part, the setup, because it's like you're introducing the characters, you're introducing the setting, and all this stuff. So I try to make it. I struggle with that part the most. Anything beyond that, downhill is perfect. But it's because it has to be. I want it to be as relatable and realistic for the reader as possible.
yeah.
So that's why it feels kind of dragged out to me. It's like, oh, this person's going through this and this because of this and this, and their family relationship is this and this because of this and this, and it's like I try to focus on that a lot more, the setup, because I think the setup is the most important part.
Yes. That's where you
It's
get
like,
them. That's where you pull them in.
yeah, that's the part where you're sitting down and you buckle your seatbelt.
Yes.
So that's always been like a very important part for me, and that's what I struggle the most with. Because like the ending and middle is easy. It's just having the readers pulling them into that seat is the hardest for me.
That's why it was so great choosing you to write with because I kind of like I pretty much had the beginning, but everything else was just like no.
See, that was so perfect for me. Was
Yeah?
the what you already yeah, because you already had your characters, how you wanted them to be, and all this other stuff. I was like, oh, this is great. And I was like, okay, da, 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 da. Yeah, yeah, you complete me. No, it was very easy because the way you had your notes were perfect.
Oh,
And I was
great.
able, yeah, so your bullet points were great, and you had a very clear way of how you wanted these characters. And
Mm,
it was literally just me just adding a couple of bits of seasoning to it
yeah.
and then putting it onto paper. Um, and a lot of the stuff that stuck out for me, like I don't know, spoiler alert, was like I thought it was very fitting for these characters to be in art school.
Yes. That was a great
Um,
touch. That made so much sense too.
because like I assume because like the main descriptions that you used were for the bar.
Yes.
And I immediately thought of college town dive bars kind of thing. I was like,
Yes.
okay. And then it's like, then I kind of worked backwards from that. It's like, oh, well, this is calling kind of a dive bar. Like, let's make it in college students. And then you wanted the tattoo was another thing.
Mm,
And I was like, okay, let's tattoo. And what's something kind of unhinged I can bring to the table involving that tattoo? And that's when I brought in the tattoo gun and how the other girl was using the tattoo gun.
yeah.
And I try to add those kind of elements to it. And yeah, and we ended up using the same tattoo gun for the conflict near the end. And that was great. I the way that yeah, you're like, let's use this. I was like, okay, cool. So let's switch it to this way. Yeah, that was very interesting. It's always nice to have like a have another person look at it like that.
Yes, 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 absolutely. Um, my brain just went doo 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 doo. Wait, um, shoot. When I was writing the bullet points and stuff for the story, I was like, he's gonna look at this and just think I'm insane. Like, this doesn't make sense. You know, when you're trying to plan out a story, you pretty much just like jot anything down, write anything down, and try to make sense of it later. But I gave you the jot anything down, and I was just like, he's gonna think I'm insane. He's not gonna be able to do anything with this. But you
No, that's
did.
the odd thing.
Mm.
I don't even call it odd. No, I'm not gonna call it odd. It made so much sense in my brain. It was perfect.
Ah,
Um,
happy.
it, like no, because you already, like I said, you already had the way you wanted to establish these characters and
Mm.
the setting, and it was just very easy. That part. Um, yeah, like I said, it was just you already had the dish prepared. I was just adding seasoning to it. That's it.
I can't wait for y'all to hear it. It's gonna be fun.
It was a very fun story to write.
Mm.
And you'll get to that point where when me and Dodge are talking about, and you
What?
that that last part, the whole thing for this with the guy, and I was
Yes.
like, can I tell you that stuck with me for a while? Like,
Did it?
no, yeah, because like, because I said earlier, I did research,
Yeah.
and it just kind of stuck with me. Like, I was like, man, that stuff really happens to people. Wow, crazy.
Yeah, the fact that it actually happens, that kind of blows my mind. That's good. I actually did something to have that stuck with you. That's huge.
What are you talking about? You have your voice acting, and usually your voice acting sticks with me anyways.
Anthony
Mhm.
Lee. Ah. I'm trying.
Listen,
Calm
like
down.
I said, I always pull up Dinner for Two and listen to you guys narrate that. That's amazing to me.
I just listened to it yesterday because I was trying to get a playlist together for another narrator, another YouTuber, and I was like, "This here's like a sample of the stuff I've done." And oh yeah, definitely put in Dinner for Two. Put that in there too because that was fun. Yes,
It was so fun to write. It was fun to listen to. You guys did amazing, and yeah, I believe you said you caught on to like a little bit of the background things and what
yes.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
I'm trying to remember.
there yeah, there were some like puzzles that I left in there that were fun to do.
Dang it! I don't. That was so long ago. I don't remember what they were.
Hmm.
And now that I have you here, I can't even bring it up. Sad. Ugh. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I don't even know. I'll edit that out.
Now we'll never know.
I will never know. This was my only
The
chance.
the world may never know the secrets.
Oh, maybe you could just tell me what they were.
Nah.
No,
I like nope.
Anthony, why?
Too
Okay.
bad. Looks like the listeners have to go look for it.
Sorry, listeners, I failed you.
Too bad.
Too bad, so sad. Do you have any struggles as a writer? Or I know a lot of people ask, what do you do when you
Living?
other than living
Existing?
exist? Yes. I know a lot of people ask about the writer's block question. What do you do when you have writer's block?
Try. What do I do when I have writer's block? Hmm. I I try my hardest not to force anything.
Mm-hmm.
If like you're not working unless you are, sure. But you're usually not working on a deadline. If you can't write anything and you just like don't force it,
Yeah.
then you'll have a story that you're not happy with. Take a step back, kind of read over what you have, and maybe work on something else in the meantime. But uh, don't try to force anything. Then you definitely won't be happy with the outcome. I've had that. Well, speaking from experience, I've had that happen. I was like, man, like I don't know what to write next. Well, maybe this and this happens. And no, don't do that. Just trust yourself, believe in yourself, take care of yourself, and it'll come naturally.
It could be for me. It could be months. It could be years. It could be days or hours. But it it gets to me eventually.
It be like that sometimes, and there's nothing to be ashamed of at that. It's no big deal. I always take there won't be a story without a writer, so make sure the writer takes care of themselves.
That's beautiful.
Take care of yourself, lady. Jeez, you work too
I'm
hard.
trying. I know. My
You have
brain is
didn't
weird.
you have to be sick to take a rest? Jeez.
Yeah, it was great too. Like I was just like laying on my bathroom floor with food poisoning, and I was just like, this is great.
Food poisoning is probably the worst thing to have
I
ever.
love having food poisoning
Oh my
because
God,
then
you sick,
I am.
sick
I
person.
told you I'm broken, and
Sick, sick
I
person.
was just like, I'm gonna lose so much weight after this. I'm gonna look
Oh
so
my God,
good.
shut up. That's so, I hate when people say that. But yeah. Um man, like seriously, like people like I said, mental health is such an important thing for me. So like please, if you have writer's block, it's okay. You're not a failure or nothing. It just happens. It's part of the process. So just take care of yourself. It'll come. It'll come to you when it comes to you.
Mm, yeah. Usually,
Mm.
when I have writer's block, it's because I'm I want to write story A, like I want to put more work in on story A, but I'm kind of really actually wanting to write story B. Like I
Yeah.
want to do more work on story B, but I'm trying to force myself to write something for story A when I really just want to be on story B.
And I think that's perfectly fine because I am the
Mm,
same way.
mm-hmm.
I have like I have like 5 or 6 different stories I'm working on right now,
Yeah,
and like it just yeah whatever it's like that.
it'd
Sure,
be
it's
like that.
okay. But yeah, don't be too idle, but take care of yourself. It's fine.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
Like I went.
don't forget what you're gonna say.
No, like I was just saying, like I went through a process of when I first started posting on Reddit, I was posting almost every day.
Wow.
And now it was like every couple of weeks. I tried to do every week. I try to hard try.
Mm,
Lately, it's been every couple of months, every month, every couple of months. But that's okay. And at one point, I was depressed that I couldn't get these stories out because I was like, oh, people are gonna just forget about me. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
But it's fine. Like, take care of yourself, people.
Yeah. Usually when I'm trying to work on story A, but I'm feeling blocked, I'll if I'll sit with it for a little bit, try to give it a chance, maybe if it wants to. I'll read it over, try to get back inside the same mindset that I was in before, and then maybe just sit with it for a little bit. And then if maybe I have some ideas, I'll take down bullet points. I'll put bullet points down so that maybe I can't think of anything right now. Maybe I can't expand on the bullet points now, but this is maybe something I could look back at when I sit down and try to write again. Maybe this is something that's going to spark some inspiration for me. But if
Mm,
it's
mm,
if it's not, then at least I have something to work off of when it gets, when the tire has to meet the road.
mm. And there's a lot of cases where you're working on, let's say, story B, and you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I can add some stuff from story A and put it into this story instead. Like
Yes.
it's perfectly doable.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, and like yeah, if you're making a horror story or whatever, make a little Frankenstein out of it. Whatever, man. It's all good.
You're so happy go lucky. I love it. What do you think makes you stand out from other horror writers?
I don't think I stand out.
I figured you were going to say that.
I don't think, but I believe that um my style of writing and the way I tell my stories is very emotion based. A lot of like I know a lot of stories are straight into the horror and stuff like that. I want to take my time to make sure my readers are like fully into like the emotions of the characters because emotions are just a big key in all my stories. I want you to feel all these a different array of emotions and then feel scared at top of that because like I think it makes it easier for you to like relate to the character. It makes you appreciate the story a little bit better if you can feel those emotions with them. And I think like I said, like that's the thing I think that stands out is I'm very emotional based. Like expect to feel sad, expect to feel angry reading my stories. Or
I
at least I
know I
try to.
did. I know I did. I know I felt angry. I felt scared. It's legit. It's a thing that will happen. Wow. Okay, what else are we missing?
Are we missing anything? What are we missing?
Did you have any other questions for me?
Um, I did. I had a list somewhere in
Oh.
my mind. I had a list
Oh.
somewhere in my mind.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't leave anything in there. Nothing
No,
gets
tricks on
done.
you. Tricks on you. I actually don't do lists. Lists freak me out. Um, I don't like feeling trapped with lists. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, no, sorry. That's like an actual real thing. I like,
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I
yeah,
can't tell when you're
I don't like,
joking anymore.
oh no. I don't like lists. Lists freak me out. Let's see. We talked about a little bit of your writing, some narrations. Um, we talked about the tropes was one I thought was fun. Um,
Another trope, actually, is the rules trope, where they're like, don't do this after midnight. Don't open the door if you hear crying. Don't those.
yeah, okay. I love them too. Because like I don't like complicated ones.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. It could go
okay,
crazy.
I don't mind like the game like blank games or midnight game or something. That's sure
Right.
that's part of the story, sure.
Yeah.
But like it's so complicated. And like but it really pulls me in. It's like, don't go out at midnight or something bad will happen. It's like, all right, got sold. Like for my tiny brain, the wheels are turning and I can fully pull myself into this thing. It's
Yes.
simple enough. Um yeah, that's a good trope. Another one of my uh actually let's switch to this. What are you like? I like to ask this of people randomly. Of course, with the context I'm a horror writer, is what creeps you out? What makes you afraid? What's something that even if it's mundane, preferably if it's mundane, what scares you?
Oh, um, everything.
Oh, wow.
Everything scares me.
Oh, okay. Furiously jotting down notes.
Everything scares me. You should
Everything.
really just interview me for your next story.
So, okay. So has this always been like that, or is this
Yes,
looking into the abyss long enough and the abyss stares back kind of thing? So no, you're just a straight up scaredy cat.
I am. I am terrified. I don't watch that
Okay.
many horror movies. I am I can relate to people with panic attacks who are agoraphobic. I get it. I don't like driving. Driving scares the crap out of me. because I'm black. So anytime I'm in
Mhm.
a car, I feel like it could be my
Oh,
last trip.
listen, oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get that. I get that too.
Mm.
That is interesting. Like I said, I love I love to just ask people what they're afraid of.
Mm.
Because I think I've become, I don't want to sound edgy, but like I've become kind of numb to it, to the horror, in a sense that like it I've already broken it down. I can break it down in my mind to where it's like, oh, okay, cool. It's interesting. It's cool. But like I'll always like to see what other I like to like watch videos on how people react. I like to gather people to watch horror movies and gauge their reactions at certain parts. Um, one of my fears, and it's so mundane, is I don't like the feeling, or I'm afraid of driving, looking into my rearview mirror, and there's something in my rearview mirror in my back seat.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And I always thought that was truly, truly horrifying. And yeah, that almost scares me today. Except when I look at my rearview mirror, I see children, my children, and it's much scarier.
You can't escape that, kid.
I cannot escape them. I can't
You
escape
can't
them for
escape
like
them.
18 years.
Yeah.
Um,
17 if you're lucky.
yeah, 17 if I'm lucky. But like, yeah. So it's not as scary. Also, if I look at my rear mirror, realistically, I just see car seats. I'm like, okay, there's no way. If
Mm,
if I
right.
see an if I see an intruder back there, they're more than likely gonna be sitting in a car seat, which makes it comical.
True.
If I see a ghost sitting in a car seat, I will laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
Um,
You're not intimidating
but
anymore.
yeah, but yeah, I like yeah, I've always liked to like just see what people are afraid of, and like that's what you talked about was funny. But like I have some people say like, "Oh, I'm afraid of octopi."
Oh,
I
of
was like,
course.
"What?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
Same.
"Of course." Yeah, so I was like, "Can you explain that to me?" Because like they're like aliens, pretty much. Because like they can like change their DNA or something, and they're so smart and stuff like that. I was like, "Oh, interesting." Um, my Yeah, I just have a lot of like friends that just give me a lot of different things, and I like to take those ideas and try to make them. Because like I love fear in the mundane, especially.
Octopi, jellyfish, swimming in the ocean because of those things. I'm more afraid of jellyfish and octopi than sharks. Like, for some reason, I am more afraid of those than sharks.
Is it is it a visual thing or is it just like a tentacly
The
squishy
tentacle,
thing?
yeah, the tentacle
The texture?
texture, the I can't eat calamari. I could eat sushi, but not calamari. And the squishy tentacles and yeah, yeah, all of
Yeah,
that, and getting shocked and. They can octopi can go anywhere. They can fit into anything. I'm
yeah. Like I don't know. I guess I had to fact check myself later, but like I believe that octopi can like alter their DNA in like some sort of way.
I know they can camouflage themselves.
Yeah, camouflage, yes, but like, I believe like something they can alter their DNA in some sort of way,
Huh.
or their DNA sequence is so unique to them that like they it's almost alien, quote unquote, from
Hmm.
what this guy was telling me. So I
Huh.
was like, oh, that's weird. That's very
Yeah,
weird,
we'll have to
actually.
check to see if that's true.
Uh, but I don't know. It's like you talked about sushi. I was a sushi chef for years, and I don't know. And it's just all little things for me to put on rice, I guess.
Lucky you. Can you swim in the ocean?
Okay, you're just pulling up my deep dark secrets right now. I cannot swim per se. I can survive in water. So what that means is, can I like? fully full out go into the ocean and have a good time? No. Will I go into a body of water and kind of flail somewhat frantically? Yes. In in lack of a better term, you know what? I just can't swim, Dodge.
Okay, thank you for being thank you for being honest with yourself. I think.
I can float for a short period of time, but I will drown. Yes.
Wow. I'm the kind of person that will drown with a life jacket on. That's just how my brain just tries to portray me. You're not supposed to be
Oh
out
my.
here. I learned how to swim in a pool, a heated pool, indoor pool. And I thought that just going out into regular pond water and ocean water, I would be ready for it. Joke was on me. I was not ready.
There's a phobia for that. But yeah, like you don't know what's out there.
Nope.
There's octopi there. Yes.
It's anything. There's fish
Yeah,
who'll
there's
think
fish.
that I'm a some kind of cave for them to crawl in. I don't know.
Ugh.
Anything is possible.
Mhm. Anything is possible, and like there's so much of the ocean that we have not explored, and that's horrifying.
Oh my god, I don't even want to. I'm trying not to.
Think about it, Dodge. It's a vast.
I don't want to. I don't want to. Don't make me, please.
There are things much worse than octopi out there.
I know. The deep ocean, too, is so
Have
much creepy
have you
shit.
yeah, have you heard of super octopi?
Oh, no. And I
No,
don't want to.
there's yeah, giant octopi. Um,
Let's not even talk
ugh.
about spiders. How
Are you
freaking
afraid of
huge they.
spiders?
Of course, the huge
Oh
ones.
man. Oh
Even the tiny
man.
ones.
You have a story about spiders.
We used to be friends.
Hmm.
Oh. Anyway, what's your favorite topping on pizza?
What?
Trying to
Uh,
change
I'm
the subject.
I'm pretty plain. Pepperoni's cool. I'm down with like any kind of topping to be cool. From a being in a chef background. I'm cool with anything. But I kind of just like pepperoni to be honest. Sure, I can go without pepperoni
Basic.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a matter of
But
feeding yourself, not
yeah, but like having like Japanese pizza with like octopi on it and possibly like a Chinese-esque pizza where they have insects such as spiders, perhaps. That's always interesting topping to think about.
is it? Is
Mhm.
it interesting?
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, the
Would
texture,
would you say that
the mouth feel.
the mouth feel?
Yeah, mouth feel.
I hate that you said mouth feel.
There was a weird era of like cooking TV. What they talked about that all the time, and that
Yeah.
really bothered me. It's like what are you talking about? Mouth feel like that? I've never in my years of being a chef, I've never heard people describe food like that. Yeah, it's like the mouth feel for this paella is just like I was like, what are you
Mm-hmm.
talking about?
Yeah, the texture, how it feels in the mouth.
Yeah, it's just like what is wrong with you guys?
It's important, okay? I want to
Ugh.
know how it dissolves on my tongue.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah, when I chew it, that feeling I get when I chew it, and it's like, ugh, okay.
Okay. You're a nut.
Have you ever seen that like little hot ones? You've heard of Hot Ones YouTube, right?
Yes, yes.
With Sean Evans and like Paul Rudd.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so there's like this meme. It's like Paul Rudd's like, look at us, look at this thing hanging out. Finally, dude, look at us. And that's how I feel right now. It's like, man, we're finally talking.
Oh,
Awesome.
I know, right? Because we talk so much on Twitter, but it's so different just being able to
Mm.
talk.
And
Yeah.
this will be the most people like I mean, if you post this, I don't know if people heard my voice. So like, it's also another funny thing.
Yep.
I've
Your
always,
normal, not
yeah,
narrator voice.
yeah, sure, yeah, my southern voice. Ugh. But I've always loved. I've always tried to like tune into your other interviews, and like I was like, man, it's fun.
Oh,
That's always fun.
really?
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Um, thank you. I don't. It's hard for me to think about people listening to me on purpose.
What do you think I feel? People read my spoopy little stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you do great. You do great work.
Thank you, dear.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah, I would recommend.
Heart emoji, exclamation point. I don't know, man. I did feel attacked at certain points of this, but it's fine.
It's not a real interview if you don't feel attacked
Yeah, yeah.
at some
What
point.
is this? What kind of interview is this?
Yeah.
Ellen?
Oprah.
Oprah, golly.
Action Hollywood.
Wait, you want to know who the mother of my kids are too? Jeez.
Maury. Oh, Jerry Springer's gone.
Yeah, and yeah. Jerry Springer's gone. And I think I'm not sure how long he retired, but Maury retired too, didn't he, recently or a
Oh, I
while
don't
ago?
know. I haven't
Yeah,
watched TV in forever.
I have not either. And most of my television viewing is like streaming stuff and
Exactly.
watching video compilations on YouTube of stupid stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm on TikTok.
A
Ugh,
lot. A lot. Be
too
honest.
a lot. Okay, listen. I I am on TikTok
Mm-hmm.
a not very healthy amount. Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, listen,
Yeah.
we don't got to. I'm not discussing this with you, brother. I feel attacked.
It's the first step to recovery, Anthony.
I'm on. My name is Anthony Lee. I have a TikTok issue. The videos are short enough for my monkey brain to like
Ooh.
enjoy,
Yeah.
and the algorithm is extremely impressive. Though sometimes not. I'm just to put this out there. Sometimes I get a couple of weird videos that pop in, and it was hey, cut that out. You guys need to find some sort of religion. Some people out there. Yeah, so I had like a weird phase. You can definitely whatever how you feel about this,
Okay.
edit out. But
Mm-hmm.
like I had a weird phase of like TikTok where like I I DM for Dungeons and Dragons, but I also got like the BDSM side of TikTok.
Oh.
I was like, how did you guys equal? Okay, Dungeon Master. Okay,
Yes. Yeah,
haha,
right.
guys.
God.
Thank,
Good one.
haha. Good one. Thanks, TikTok.
Oh, I love it. Did you learn anything new for your D&D game?
Oh yeah, so like there's like whips and chains
Yeah.
involved and like safe
Yeah.
words.
There's aftercare. Yeah, there's all of that.
Yeah, aftercare. Yeah, yeah. So I was like, whoa, there's like a whole week. I was like, golly, okay.
Just it was like just a phase on TikTok that they
It was like I guess maybe I'm calling myself out. Sure, why not? But like, I don't know, man. It was like literally dungeon master stuff, then dungeon stuff. I was like, okay, I can see how you guys could get these confused, but I can assure you they're two very different things. Sometimes I guess they both like torturing. Sure, whatever. Actually, you know what? It's fine. I just get cat videos now.
uh
I don't even have a cat anymore.
could I don't know what to say. I don't
What?
know what to say.
What are you talking? What?
I'm laughing so oh my cheeks hurt. I'm sorry.
You don't have cat videos on TikTok? I
I
don't
don't
understand
go
what
on
you.
TikTok. I don't have time.
Oh, oh, so I'm the weird one.
Right, yes.
Okay, all right. I see. This is a witch hunt.
people
This is a witch hunt.
people who
Dodge is
spend so
once again. Dodge the Grave is attacking me, Anthony Lee, aka Dark Hero XX, aka Dark Hero. Dodge is attacking me. You guys, this is in 40K, 4K.
I can't afford
Dodge is attacking me right
I
now.
can't afford to put a 2-hour video in 4K. That takes too long to process.
Oh, you're too good to watch TikTok. Whatever, Dodge. Get it.
I'm not saying I'm too good to watch TikTok. I'm just saying I don't watch it because I don't have time.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. All right. Thanks. Thanks for saying I have all the time in the world.
Apparently, so maybe tone it down a little bit. Maybe.
I'm being attacked. Help. Help. She's attacking me.
Okay, all right, moving on. Moving on.
Uh, uh,
You are so
I'm
funny.
like, I'm like sweating. Thank God.
Dodge the bullet
Enough of my
there.
tik enough of my TikTok addiction, please.
Tell me more about the cat videos.
They're cute. I love cats.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, man. You want to go really basic into this thing? What's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal is one I don't have to take care of. So like actually if I don't have pets, but if I was to have a pet, I would probably have a fish, a singular fish. Maybe two to keep the other one company. Maybe. But yeah, I'm not going to have like a whole freaking wall of fish.
Oh, what? Okay.
Like a
Um.
really big aquarium of fish.
Oh, I am well aware of those. Yeah.
Yes, you know.
No, okay, so here's the backstory for that.
Hmm.
It's because,
Right.
I used to work in multiple sushi
Right.
restaurants. One of the owners I had he called them dragonfish. I'm not sure if they're a real fish or not,
Mm.
but like it was a very large koi-esque
Mm-hmm.
fish. And he had like three of them in this very large tank right in front of the sushi bar.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't take care of them. I did. So like um I don't like fish. I don't like taking care of fish. My favorite animal is a raccoon. I love raccoons
Huh.
so much. I wish I can have a raccoon.
That's random.
Um, what do you mean random?
You don't. I mean, I know there are people who like raccoons.
Okay, I see.
Why
I see.
raccoons, Anthony?
I see. I see.
I just want to
Once
understand.
again, shocker. Dodge the Grave is once again attacking me for liking pandas. I see. Okay.
you,
No, because they're just cute looking.
mm-hmm.
It's cute. And my second animal will be a bear. I want to lay on top of a bear.
On their tummy.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Without the fear of being
of
mauled.
course. Of
But
course.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, is Pocahontas your favorite Disney movie?
Uh no, because I don't like I don't like the whole
Hmm.
other side the whole other side of that. The historical parts I do not care for.
Right.
I don't like uh
It
no.
gets muddy.
I like,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 real ugly. I watched the crap out of Mulan growing up, because
Right.
it's such a good movie.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Also,
Mm-hmm.
great music.
Uh-huh.
Uh, what are you laughing?
I'm not Anthony. I love it.
Okay.
No. No.
Okay. All right. So I don't know, for the umpteenth time, listeners, Dodge is assuming that I like
Mulan. Because
What? Because verbatim, she said
I didn't say anything.
verbatim. Uh, all right. I see how this is going out. I see how this is turning out. Okay. Interesting.
I
Interesting how
love
you
this.
called me in.
I love this so much.
Interesting how you called me in for this little talk that's turned into an interview that's turned into a debacle. All right. Who hired you? Who hired you for
Your
this?
your sushi chef boss.
Oh my, I knew it. I knew it. I dropped his fish
One
once.
time.
That's all it took for that fish. Yeah, so yeah, never mind. No, okay, so we were closing that restaurant and we had to move the fish and they were large, very, very large
Mm.
fish. And it took like me and my cousins
Damn, you had to get your family
uh
involved.
well it was an Asian restaurant. So they were like associated with it anyways. And okay, listen. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, we dropped that fish.
Okay.
It was like it was because we didn't drop it like, oh no, we're clumsy. That was a very, very strong fish.
Oh.
And it fell and there's an accident. And that fish is no longer with us.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Q wow, that sounded was that Titanic?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. What?
Nothing. I'm just happy you realized and recognized it.
I loved Titanic as a kid. I don't know why, but I watched it. I had it on
Of
VHS,
course, the
and
two VHS set.
I watched it so many times as a kid. I do not know why. I was just so fascinated with it. Um, I don't know why. I watched it a lot. That and like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, but whatever.
Slight tangent. I
Yeah.
I only watched the sinking part. That was the only part.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I only watched the sinking part. I don't remember the beginning
So
of the
you,
movie.
so you only enjoyed the horrific scene.
Exactly. I I I, en-
Okay.
I
Hmm.
enjoy depressing
You,
things,
yeah.
which
You
explains my
enjoyed
writing.
making people feel like comfortable. Uh, no, I get it. No.
It's in my nature, apparently.
Hmm. 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 Um, yeah, that was such a good movie. That was a very good scene. A scene that sticks out was like the I think the musicians
Yeah,
that stayed on the boat.
yeah,
I was like, as a kid, I just couldn't fathom that, but as an adult or growing up, I was like, that's like kind of dedication. I appreciate that,
yeah.
and that was such a good movie. The acting amazing. Um, yeah, a lot of good actors in that movie. All right, so uh, next question
Mm-hmm.
is I can't think of any. I can't remember. I remember I was fully prepared to ask you so many questions, but my nerves got to me. I'm so nervous about this that I forgot questions.
So it was. We were starting. We you called me to start the talk, and like, what's going through your mind as you start calling me to talk?
Well, I was like, all right, Anthony, do not fuck this. Yeah. I was just thinking I didn't know. Um I think you and Dustin have been like a couple of the more consistent people I've talked with online
Mm-hmm.
regarding stories and like just the within the community.
Yeah.
And but Dustin more so, you was more of a recent thing, I suppose.
Yes.
But like I've always like I've just been a fan, to be completely honest.
Ah.
So I was like, man, like, ugh. All right, Anthony, let's do this. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. And lo and behold,
I was the weird one.
Dodge the Grave, putting in the controversial things into this little
I didn't
video thing.
realize that they were controversial. I thought they were just questions.
It- Dodge was attacking me slowly throughout this night.
You got to warm them up to the torture. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't. It's just like the frog in the
yeah.
boiling pot. You got to slowly bring it up.
Ooh, ooh, yeah, that's a good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, but all in all, I love this. This has been great. It's been really, really fun. Um, yeah, I would love to do this again sometime. And I don't know. Unfortunately, season three of Through the Fog, is going to be on hold as of right now, or we'll see. But like, I was really looking forward to working with you.
You still are going to work with me.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Sure, if
Yeah.
you feel like it.
I feel like it.
Sure,
I feel
sure,
like it.
sure. Why
We
not?
are still
Yeah.
going to work together. And I I don't think that much is going to change other than the fact that you're not going to be writing as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah,
that's not going to change that much.
yeah, yeah. I guess so. Sure.
What? How is it going to be different?
No, I'm just being an ass.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We're I'm going to be doing a crap ton of your stories. I'm going to be doing a lot of your well, pretty almost all of your 2 sentence horror stories. Um I'm going to be checking in with you on Twitter and Discord. I'm going to be reaching out to you. There's no way we are not still going to be working together.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Like I said, if you like, I'm always open to like working on stories. So if you have another idea, send it my way. I'll make something happen.
Yeah, you do, like you usually do.
Okay.
I love
Okay.
I love just giving Anthony compliment. I'm talking to you, the listener. I love just giving
Mhm.
Anthony compliments because he's so bad
I
at
hate it.
taking them. He hates
I
it
hate
so
it.
much.
I hate
But
it.
even though he
I
hates
hate it.
it so much, I'm right now I'm like crossing my eyes so much. He still deserves to hear them. So I'm not going to stop telling him how awesome he is no matter
No,
how much he hates it.
no, stop. She's torturing me again, guys. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this abuse.
All right.
So tired of this.
Yeah. Well, then let me put you out of your misery then. Is there.
Finally.
Oh, man. Is there anything else you would like to pitch? Like your writing, your commissions, anything else?
Um, no, I mean, if you guys find the time, uh, yeah, yeah, I'm happy you guys reading my stupid little stories. Um, please find whoever's narrating them, love them very, very deeply too. Um, and I don't know, I'm always around. I'm floating around the internet a lot, so writing this and that, trying to do this and this. So hey, I'm here,
Sweet.
and that's it.
That's it. End credits. All right, you guys.
And
Thank you so much for listening to my interview with Anthony Lee, Dark Hero XX. Y'all have a great rest of your week. I will see y'all soon. Goodbye, guys.
bye.
This interview and this discussion has commenced. So saith the Queen.
Hello, everyone. I am Dodge the Grave, and today I am sitting with Horror on the Rocks. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, good morning.
So, I normally interview narrators who have 1K subscribers or more because I feel like they have more experience with being a YouTuber of that genre, of course. But I asked you on because I think there's something that can be learned from someone who is close to the 1K mark, but still feels like they're still trying to find their footing in a way.
I'm not gonna cry. So, well, no, thank you. No, I appreciate it.